All right, perfect. So, thank you for tuning in to 26 Sports. It's your host, Mike Retha, and we're on again today with, I'm not even going to say prospect no more because he's elevated himself into top contender status, who deserves a title shot as soon as possible. We're on today with the one and only Raymond Danger Muratalla. So, how's it going, Raymond? How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? I'm doing good, man. How
It's
about
good.
yourself?
Doing good, man. Just another day, man. So, man, you got your fight coming up on the 29th. Last year was a really big year for you. You got some really big wins, some really impressive stoppages over two, you know, well named fighters. One who gave Shakur Stevenson all he could handle, and then you stopped an undefeated fighter who had never been knocked down before, and you stopped him. What do you think led to those two fights? You delivering the biggest performances that you could in the biggest fights that you had.
I think I think it's really just all the work I've been putting in. I've been saying I want these fights, man, and every time I get these opportunities, man, I show up and I deliver. And I think it's just all the hard work that I've been putting in and just continuing to do that.
And that's true, man, because everybody that I've talked to when they mention you, they always just talk about the work. Other fighters will say, I'm in the gym, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but we never really know if they are. Everybody says it, and then, your performances definitely match up to that because we see what you're able to do in the ring. We see what you do every time you fight. And I think one of the things that a lot of fighters or a lot of fans really like about you is you'll say, I'll fight whoever, just give me them in the ring, and that's it. You don't come out, you don't trash talk, you don't diss another fighter, you don't diss a fighter before your fight. You just say, I'm gonna do my talking in the ring, and I think you've really done that. Um, do you feel like maybe you should talk a little bit more? Maybe that could get you some of these other fights.
I mean, it seems like that's how I'm gonna get these next big fights, but that's just always how I've been.
Yeah,
I just been one just to be in that gym, just putting in work and just keep learning and learning and it's been showing in my fights, man. So I can't wait to get these big fights, man.
definitely. And I mean, as I said, a lot of people are calling for it. We've seen Robert Garcia, for his part, go out of his way to clamor for these fights for everybody. For you to get Shakur Stevenson, for you to get Keyshawn Davis, and you've said it yourself. You have no issue asking for any of these fighters. You have no issue fighting these fighters. Um, After this fight, should you come out unscathed and everything goes good, do you think that's a possibility for you?
I mean, as a fighter, man, I hope so. This what we do, you know. We fight and we want the best fights, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, man, and hopefully I get these opportunities so I can really show what my fight style, what my talents I have.
Definitely. And again, man, we've seen you in the ring now. Uh, as I said, you had three big fights last year. Your first one, I believe that was the first time you had gotten knocked down, correct? And then
Yeah.
you responded with the two big wins. Were you surprised? Because to us, I'm gonna be honest, it looked easy for you both of those fights. The first one obviously was the early stoppage. You got him out of there quick. But your second fight with Torres, you dominated him throughout, and then it looked like you said, "Okay, I'm gonna end it in this round." Were you surprised at how easy it looked to us? Was it that easy for you? Were you surprised at how it went?
And we knew going into that fight he was gonna be tough. He was gonna be durable, but to be honest, it was easier than I thought. He was slower than I thought. I think just everything that all the training was just adding up on my side, and it showed how the different levels between me and him was.
Definitely. And then, as I said, it was the first time. Obviously, he had lost, so it was the first time he had been dropped. First time, for a lot of that. When you dropped him, did you know right there? Okay, this fight's done. Did you know that he was breaking down throughout that fight?
Oh yeah, I could feel him round by round. He was already slowing down and slowing down. You could see he was just defeated in his face, his body movement. So it was just a matter of time.
Yeah, and now, you got another big fight coming up on the 29th. It's another big, platform for you because it's ESPN Plus again. But on the card that you have Sinisa Strata and Yokosta Valle going for undisputed in the women's division. Then you got Oscar Valdez against Liam Wilson. And I ask you this every time you have a fight, man. What are you gonna do to steal the show that night?
I think just perform and just do as I've been doing. Um, anytime anytime I fight, man, that's just the mindset. Just go out there, have fun, and perform and put on a good fight for the fans, and that's what I plan on doing.
Yeah, definitely. And you've done it each time. You've stepped up. You've done what you said you're gonna do. And as I said, you don't talk. You just say, "I'm here. I'm here." To put on the performance, and I'm gonna earn my fans. And you definitely have. Now, what do you know about your opponent coming in? And I know you're not gonna get into the game plan, but what do you feel you're gonna do when you get into that ring with them? Do you have a plan to try to make it an early night, or you do what you got to do to get the win only?
Yeah, I mean the main the main the main objective is to get that win. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna fill him out and see what he's about, and just put the pressure on him, and just get him thinking, and just do as I do, man. Just break him down little round by round, and hopefully get him out there and put on a great fight for the fans.
Definitely, and as we always talk about the gym you're in, the camp that you're with, you know, the fighters that you guys got in there, world champions, former world champions, top contenders, all class in pretty much every weight class that Robert trains. Seeing a fighter as Virgil Ortiz come back, seeing Jose Ramirez coming back, and then the rumors of Josh Franco, and you're in the gym seeing Bam every day as well too. How does that help elevate your game? Just seeing those types of fighters as you train to get elevate your own level.
Yeah, it's just full of energy, man. I think it's all of us just feeding off each other. Everybody just watching each other work out, train, spar, and it's really motivating and just makes you want to keep you on your toes and just keep training, keep working hard. And I think it's the best place to be right now.
Definitely, man. And your dad's told me many times I'm gonna be heading up there one of these times, man. Maybe before your next fight for your camp. He's been telling me, inviting me to go out there. So definitely. And last time we talked, but the fights that ended up happening because it started raining out here. You were supposed to come down. We know it's not official, but it's official. Jose and Virgil going to be on the same card, however, in Fresno. Are you going to be planning on coming down for that card as well, or are you going to be staying home and getting some rest?
Um, I'm not too sure yet, but if everything goes good, man, and I'm feeling great, then I'd love to make a trip down.
All right, because you already know, man. I already told you, tacos, are on us when you come down here, bro. For everybody out there, so just let me
Yeah,
know. Um, so
for sure.
I asked some fans, I asked some people, if they had any questions for you. So I got a few. One of them, I can't say who they are because it's kind of a fan, but also possible foe down the road. Um, they want to know, who do you think is the toughest challenge at 135? Just you personally.
Um, what you mean by that?
Like, who's the toughest fighter at
For
135
me?
for you that you believe?
I think all those top guys at the 135 are would be a challenge for me, but as far as like skill wise, talent wise, I think I'm better than most of them, and if not all. So that's just my mindset going towards any of those guys. So I think any of those guys are would be a challenge, but nothing I can't handle.
Okay, and then one of the constant questions, of course, has been about Shakur Stevenson. We know he keeps asking for someone to step up to fight him. We know you've said you gladly will step up. Has there been any discussion about that fight? And what do you feel about him? His last performance. Apparently, he was injured, so he didn't perform up to his normal level. What do you feel about him personally as a fighter? And then, has there been any discussion about that fight?
Now, as far as I know, nothing has come up. But like you said, man, I'm here. I'm ready to fight anybody. I mean, as far as a fighter, I think he's a good fighter. I think he can box very well. And his last fight, like you said, he was injured, so he was didn't perform his best. But I'd love to make that fight happen.
Okay. And now one of the other fighters that they've mentioned, and it's someone in your weight class who's going to be on your same time frame of fights. He actually fought a stablemate of yours. Is William Cepeda, El Camaron. A lot of people have been asking me about that, and that's honestly, personally, I had never thought about that fight. And once they mentioned it, bro, that's kind of like a dream fight for me now that I think about it. For you two to step in the ring, what do you see with him, and will your eyes be on him this Saturday?
I mean, I think that's another option, another great fight for me. He's a he's another good fighter, man. He likes to come forward with a lot of punches, so I think it'll be a great fight between me and him. It'll be a war.
Okay, okay, that's the fight I really like, and a lot of people mentioned it, and now that I thought about it, man, because I'm just thinking, strictly who could top rank it, but top rank it, Golden Boy can make fights together, and that would, be a great fight, especially if he's going for a belt soon, and you're going for a belt soon. Let's get it in there.
Yeah.
But I know one of the more realistic ones too. Now that it's known that he's gonna get a title shot, El Vaquero Navarrete. He might be the biggest name, possibly aside from Shakur at 135. How does that fight look for you? And how quickly would it take you to sign that contract if they sent it to you?
I mean, that's another fighter right there too, man. There's a lot of fights out there, man. I don't see me turning down any of those fights. I'll be gladly to get in the ring with him too. So I don't know, man. This year's looking good, man. There's a lot of great fights that can happen.
Definitely, man. And now one of the other ones, this is from New York Fights, Gail. I don't want to say your name wrong, so I'm gonna just keep it at Gail. Got love for you, but she had a really good question about 2021 for you. You fought in the bubble twice. How do you think that affected your career? And then what's the long term effect of that pandemic on someone that went through it and fought in the bubble setting two times?
As far as the bubble, it was definitely a different experience. It wasn't too bad though. I kind of enjoyed it. It was cool. It was a different experience to just be around and fight around. Just to just to get a feel for those two experiences, like with fans and no fans. And the only thing I could really remember is just it being so quiet. But as far as that, man, I mean we got past that, and now it's just we have fans, so everything's all good now, man. I don't know what was your ultimate question, my bad.
Oh, the last one was, what type of effect do you think it has on fighters that fought through it through that pandemic time? I'm guessing because as you stated, the setting, no fans. What do you think it'll have as a long term effect on you?
On me, I don't really put too much thought in that. I don't think it'll affect me too much, but I think it just helps me realize that the fans are always there, and they're gonna be cheering for us, and it's good to have that and good to hear that, you know.
Yeah. So now there's another question I got from it. At that bubble, as you said, it was quiet. Did that help a little bit with hearing your corner's advice through a fight? And what's the difference with hearing the advice, when the fans are there screaming as opposed to that bubble time? Is there a difference, or no matter what, can you hear the corner?
I think no matter what, you kind of hear those voices, but it was definitely more clear in the bubble when there was nobody screaming or yelling or anything. So yeah, I would say it was definitely a lot more clear in the bubble.
Yeah, and you know, in that setting, when you would hit these opponents, because we could hear it, and it sounded 10 times louder for us. Could you hear it more? Because I know you could feel it when you get them with that good shot. Could you hear them a little bit more when you landed that one? Took the air out, or landed that punch to wobble them. Could you hear their grunts a little more clear?
Yeah, you hear everything more clear, man. Just their breathing, their movements, and like I said, the grunts, even the punches, man. Even when they like hit when they hit on your body and all that you can hear.
Now at 135, you've never had an issue making weight, but was it a little harder that last week in the bubble to stay on point to make weight? Because a lot of other fighters, would miss weight by a couple pounds, and they would say, certain things that they weren't able to do to shed off those last few pounds during fight week. Did you have that issue at all?
I don't remember too much, but I do remember the equipment was like shut down, or we couldn't use like a lot of stuff, or even like the gyms, I think. But I think we got the job done.
Yeah, because I don't remember hearing any issues about you on weight, but I just know a lot of fighters had that problem making that weight. Um, so now, as we know, we always talk about other fights coming up. Just in the month of May. Well, you know what? Let's go to that main event that night. I want when you fight Valdez against Liam Wilson. How do you see that fight going? And are you gonna after your fight, change, shower, and come back to watch it? Or are you gonna just pretty much try to get ready to go home?
Yeah, I mean, I'll see how I feel. But that's another that I think that's gonna be a good fight, man. I think Valdez is gonna take it to him, and I think that's gonna be a good one to watch.
All right, and now, you know, one of the biggest fights of the year, but with I'm not sure how much you've seen. I know you're not on Twitter, but with the outbursts lately and comments that Ryan Garcia has made is Garcia and Haney. First, how do you see that fight going, and what do you make about what's going on with Ryan and what he's been saying?
I don't know too much about that, so I'm not even gonna speak too much on that. But as far as the fight, um, just based off seeing them fight in the past, they it's kind of like a chess match watching them. So I mean they're both bigger now, they're both stronger, faster. So it'll be an interesting one.
Who do you have?
Um, I think if they're both on it, man, it's gonna be a tough one. But I think Ryan can pull it off.
Okay, okay, you got Ryan. All right, and then obviously Cinco de Mayo, we got Canelo and Munguia. It's a big time Mexican in the fight for Cinco de Mayo. As I said, the carne asada all over the state and in Mexico is going to be going everywhere. How do you see that fight going, and who do you have? Do you think Jaime could pull off the upset?
I think I think Munguia, he's tough, man. He throws a lot of punches. He's tough. I just think Canelo is gonna be just too smart, man. I think he's just too smart, too intelligent. He just sees the punches coming, man. He's a great counter puncher, and it's gonna be interesting to see how Munguia adapts to that.
Okay, all right, and then the heavyweight fight we got Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. How do you have that fight going?
Um, I think Usyk, I think he could take that one, man. Just because he's as a heavyweight and his movement, he's he has good movement, man. So I think it could throw him off, and I think he could pull that one off.
Okay, I actually feel the same way. I believe Usyk's got more agility and a little bit more ability than Fury. Fury's a great boxer and everything, but Usyk, just came up from cruiserweight, and I don't feel that he has any fear, and the mind games won't work on him. So I think he's gonna pull that fight
Oh
off.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And another one that still hasn't been formally announced, but it will be coming from what we know. Tank Davis and Frank Martin. How do you see that one, and who do you have coming forward with it?
That should be a good one too. Um, honestly, I think Davis will probably pull that one off, but I think Frank Martin's he's a beast too, man. He's quick, he has good movement, and he's fast. So I think that won't be a good fight too.
Okay, I like that one, and I feel the same way. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people are giving it credit for. A lot of them are thinking Tank's going to run away with it, but I do feel it's going to be
Yeah,
a really close fight.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Me too, me too.
And and just one is just personal favorite of mine. Naoya Inoue versus Luis Neri. Right after Canelo. Monday morning for us here on the West Coast. 6th of
Oh yeah.
May. How do you see that one? And do you give Neri any chance to get the win, or do you think it's just going to be, the actual monster, Louis Naoya Inoue?
Yeah, and no way, man. I don't see anybody beating him right now. Nuri's good, man, but I just think Inouye's he's on another level right now.
Definitely, yeah, I agree, man. I think it's gonna be. I think Inouye's gonna get hit a little bit more, but I just I don't see it, man. Like it's one of those guys where I have to see him lose before I could say he's gonna lose a fight. And at this point, everybody that I thought could give him a fight, he's kind of
Yeah,
ran through, man. He's
no,
made it
right,
look a
right,
little
right.
easy. And now, a
No, that's
couple
true.
questions here that they have for you, bro, is about your big brother, Gabriel, man. First, how's he doing, man? And what's next for him? Do you know?
He's doing good, man. He we don't know what's next right now, but he was supposed to fight the day after me actually, and
That's right.
it recently got canceled. So right now he's just training, just working, just staying in shape, and hopefully he gets a call.
Now, I know I've asked you this about how good it feels, having a brother in the sport, someone you could, go back and forth with about the sport. But for me, he's a teacher, bro, and then I see him doing these classes now for boxing. Just personally, like, how proud does that make you as a brother? Just seeing him doing so much more other things that just help people besides just being in the ring.
Yeah, just that just shows you, man, what kind of person he is, what kind of heart he has, and it's crazy, man. Just seeing all the kids that he's helping out and training, and how much fun he's having with it, how much fun the kids are having with it. So it's a great thing to be a part of and witness.
Definitely, man. And another question they have is about your stablemate Felix Soria, man. How do you feel about him personally as a fighter? And do you know what's coming up for him as well?
Yeah, he's a great talented dude, man. I can't wait for the world to see these guys, man. He's in there. He's working hard too, man, and we can't wait to see these fights for him.
Definitely. And as I said, a lot of these people have talked about what you're able to do, what they think you could pull off, and what's coming forward, man. First, what do you got for the fans? What do you got to say for them when they tune in? March 29th, just a couple weeks from tonight.
Man, just tune in, man. I believe I'm up next. I'm gonna keep proving it to the world, fight by fight, and just come and enjoy the journey, man.
If you now for anybody else at 135, man, because I know you don't like doing this, but we got to get these guys to step in the ring with you, man. What's a message that you have for anybody at 135 that wants a title shot or wants to be known as the best fighter in the weight? What's the message you have for any of them?
I just think we gotta start fighting, man. I think at this level we want to be champions. We gotta fight. That's truly it, man. As simple as that. To get these belts, man, we gotta fight.
Definitely, man. And as I've said, bro, I've seen you since you started. I've watched your fights, bro. I've seen you improve, and you've never said, you don't talk trash. You don't go out your way to do that. You just prove it in the ring. But we got to get these fights done. I know you've asked for them. I know Robert. I know your dad. I know they've all asked about Keyshawn, about Shakur. Another fight that's coming up that's in your weight class, Lomachenko and Kambosos. I think the majority are going to feel that Lomachenko should take that win. Do you think there's a chance that Kambosos could pull that upset off?
Um, I don't think so. I think Lomachenko's just gonna he's gonna take that one. I don't see Kambosos pulling that one off.
Okay, okay, all right. So, sorry, Australian fans, but that's the majority of people feel that way as well. But Kambosos is a fighter that I think he's made the most of his opportunity. Definitely, like
Yeah,
he got his fight with Tio, pulled the upset, got two big fights with Devin, and now he's gonna fight Lomachenko. When you see something like that, knowing how hard you work, does that just give you more motivation, or does that kind of piss you off a little bit, knowing what you've done to get your shot, and it seems like people avoid you?
I mean, I don't think any of that gets to me. I'm just want to wait for my opportunity, man, and when it comes, and I'll be ready for it. So that's kind of my mindset on it. So I ain't really gonna like say I get mad about it or anything, cause my time will come, you know.
Yeah. Puro Golpe is telling everybody to go ahead and get your Team Danger posters, have them ready for fight night, and then have them just in general, moving forward. Because as you said, a lot of people feel he's up next. Beat a Menace said after Frank beats Tank that he would love to see you too because he definitely feels that you're up next as well. So he's given Frank the fight. He believes he defeats Tank
Yeah,
Davis. So all right, man, that's a good
sure,
amount
man.
of questions here, man. And I know you're getting ready for your fight. You just a couple weeks away, man. So I want to thank you for taking time out tonight, bro. Appreciate you coming on again. And then if you come down here for that fight next month, and just let me know, bro. Definitely tacos are on
Yeah,
us here, bro.
of course, man. Thank you. Appreciate you as well, and definitely, bro. I definitely give you a call if I go down there.
Definitely, man. Appreciate it. All right, man. And if not, man, I'll be out there in LA during possibly your next camp, so we could go ahead and get some more work.
Sounds good, man.
All right,
Appreciate it.
appreciate it. All right, thank you. All right, for everybody tuning in, man. If you didn't watch it from the beginning, go back and watch it. Everybody else, March 29th, ESPN Plus, Valdez versus Liam Wilson. Catch Raymond Muratalla on there as he's going to put on another show for the fans and show everybody that he's definitely one of the best at 135. So tune in. So everybody, thank you, and we'll be